So here we have a 1950s. Hopefully y'all can see this. Green color, hand blown, obviously. It is a blenko gurgle. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Piney Woods. And if this is your first time checking us out, welcome to the Piney Woods. My name is Kyle. I sell a lot of junk on eBay. I go out, I find stuff, I list it on eBay, and then I sell it. And today I'm showing y'all how I'm gonna ship an item that I just sold that is pretty valuable, fragile, easily broken, whatever you wanna call it. So I wanna make sure that this item gets shipped safely and arrives in one piece to its buyer. Because it did sell for a lot of money, I want to make sure that I get the profit from that sale. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about first. So here we have a 1950s. Hopefully y'all can see this. Green color, hand blown, obviously. It is a blenko gurgle, vase, decanter, whatever you want to call it, but I believe it is a gurgle, and missing the stopper on top, obviously, or it would have sold for a lot more money and made me a lot more money. Now, I actually picked this item up, don't know if y'all care, but in someone's antique booth for $20. My assumption is the person didn't want to sell it online and have to ship it, so they put it in the antique booth for 20 bucks. When I saw it, automatically knew that I could make some money on it, so I bought it from the antique booth. I put it on eBay. The item ended up selling on an offer of $350 plus the buyer paid shipping. I want to say they paid close to like $100 to have it shipped from Texas to Ohio. That's going to be more than enough money to cover my cost of goods and the cost of shipping. Now, I want to tell y'all there are an abundance of ways to ship this item. The method that I'm going to be using and the method that I typically use on fragile items like this is what we call the floating box method. All that means is this item is going to go inside of one box, and then that whole box is going to go inside of another box. And I'm going to show y'all exactly how I would ship this to make sure it arrives safely, right? So I typically use this method of the floating box to make sure that it gets there safely. And now I'm gonna walk y'all through exactly how I would ship this big blenko gurgle down here. Now, what are you gonna need to ship glass items and fragile items? Now, obviously you're gonna need some bubble wrap, and you're gonna need a box. Hopefully I'm not like spoiling your party or whatever. If you planned on shipping this, you probably knew that you're gonna need some boxes, you're gonna need some bubble wrap. An ideal situation would be if you had some peanuts, those little foam peanuts. If you don't, there are other ways that you can do this. I actually don't have any peanuts currently, but I have a massive box of free packing paper that I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace. That is a very good resource to find stuff. People have just moved. They want to get rid of the boxes and the packing paper. They can't sit it all out by the curb. So you just go pick it up for free. If you ship a lot of stuff, you can just keep it in your storage, and then it's always there whenever you need it. So you do need some boxes, some bubble wrap, some packing paper, or some peanuts to accomplish this job successfully. All right, now step number one is we are gonna start with just some small bubble wrap on the actual glass piece. We want to get a light layer covering the whole item just to give it a little bit of cushion. We're not going to overdo it on this first layer. We just want to make sure we give it a little bit of cushion, so I'm going to do that right now. All right, so as y'all saw, we got one nice light layer of bubble wrap on the glass piece, and then we have, I guess what do you call, shrink wrapped it. That way it's nice and tight. It's just a little bit of cushion. We're not overdoing it yet. We just want to make sure that it does have a little bit of protection when we put it inside of the first box that we're going to use. We're going to do that now. Okay, so we have the item inside of the first box that we're using. Now we found a box that was basically the same size as the item. We don't want a lot of wiggle room on this one right here. It's actually a little bit short, but that's okay. We're gonna fold these, the top up and actually tape this together and then put some cushion and put a little piece of cardboard over the top of that. But this is roughly the same size as the item. It's nice and tight on the sides. It's actually pushing the box out just a little bit. That's why we wanted that cushion, because it is nice and tight on the box. Now this is not the box that we're gonna ship this item in. This entire set right here is going to go inside of another box, hence the name, like the floating box. So when we put this box inside of the next box, we're gonna make sure that there's lots of cushion around all sides and that it does not actually touch the other box. It's floating inside of it. So I actually went to the dump, the recycle dump, I should call it, and pulled this box out of the recycle. Now this box is obviously too large. It was a Christmas tree box. It is Christmas time, and so there are a lot of boxes right now. I typically go to the dump and try to recycle my boxes. I don't buy boxes, but let me just show you what I'm talking about. This box is entirely too large, and so we are gonna have to cut this box down a little bit, but it is a great box because we can position this box where there's cushion here, there's cushion on the sides, and then we can actually, we'll lift it up and there will be cushion underneath, and there will be cushion on top, and there will be cushion on the top right here as well. And so the whole thing will be cushioned all around the edges. That's what we're gonna work on right now. Okay, like I mentioned, we were going to fold up the tops, tape it, put a lot of cushion, and then tape it over. So the blenko piece is actually inside of this box. And remember, it doesn't have a ton of cushion on it, but that's where this is going to come in, the floating box technique. So this is a very large item. I want to say that it was 38 inches tall. I could be off on that, but it's a large glass item, all right? And so we're going to lay the box in here. We've created a nice cushion. Here are the two full boxes of moving paper that I have. This one and this one. So I got all this for free. I'm not afraid of using too much of this stuff. And so nice floating box right there. So it's not touching the bottom. It's not touching any of the sides. We're gonna go ahead and fill this in with as much packing paper as we can, and then we'll pick up the video from that spot. Okay, here we have our cushioned floating box. Now this is the spot where if you had peanuts, you could have used the peanuts in this case. You could also use bubble wrap. Use whatever you have, but the idea is get a nice cushion, firm layer around this box. Right? I was not afraid of using a lot of this moving paper because, like I said, I got it for free, and I got it for free to use it. But as you notice, this box is not moving at all, and that's what we want. We have a cushion, a layer on the bottom, on the sides, and now we'll put a cushion layer on the top. We will close the box and then trim this box down to make it smaller and fit. Let's go ahead and get the cushion completely finished. Okay, we got it cushioned and we got it taped. And now we've stood the box up because remember, we still need some cushion on top of the actual gurgle. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna use our box cutter, and we're actually just gonna cut out the square here, all 4 edges. That way we can look down inside of the box. Okay, so we cut the top off of the box. Very simple. If you have a sharp box cutter, which we keep one around, you can see the item, the top of the item right here. Cushion on all sides. And we could probably even put a bit more cushion right here. We want to make sure that it's nice and covered. And so what we'll do now is we'll continue to use the moving paper and fill up until about 6 inches over the top of the item. All right, so we packed in all of our edges with the moving paper, and we packed a lot on top. And so we still have about 10 inches, might be hard to see, but it's probably about 10 inches of extra room, and we don't want to pay for extra shipping. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually going to take our box cutter again, and we will just cut all 4 corners all the way to the top, like so. So we'll start down here as low as we can go, and we'll cut up. That's going to allow us to fold all of these edges over, making the box smaller, saving some money on shipping. Let's do that now. Okay, we have all of our edges or our corners cut. Now we're just going to take the box and give it a good fold over. Way it shrinks the cubic volume of the box, because that is what we're charged on. So we'll fold both sides, fold this side and this side, and we have a shorter box. Now we'll tape this to hold it down. Okay, here we have our finished product, and very solid box. We'll add some more tape to this, but as you can see, I don't think anything is going to happen to that box. Now, is that overkill? There's a possibility. But what you want to keep in mind is you'd rather the item get there safely. That way you get your profits, the buyer's happy, and, you know, ultimately you get your profits. So a little bit of overkill, in my opinion, is probably fine. It'll get you some positive feedback. If y'all followed those steps on that item with the floating box, remember, it doesn't have to be moving paper. It can be bubble wrap if that's what you have readily available, or the packing peanuts, little foam peanuts. Those work great also. I can 100% guarantee you that this item is going to get there safely. It's packed nicely inside of a box, which is floating inside of this other box. There's a ton of cushion. I used a lot of that paper, like I said already. I got it for free, so I'm not afraid to use it. Hopefully this video has helped some of y'all. Leave a comment down below if you have any advice on the way that I shipped mine. Again, there's probably, you know, thousands of ways you could have done this. I've had a lot of success doing the floating box like I just demonstrated. If y'all made it this far in the video, like I always say, we greatly appreciate y'all watching. God bless y'all. I'll see you next time.